on her behalf, she gets to kick back and clock out early.
How do we get such an awesome weapon?
After the version 7.7 update, Shixel's Imperative's recommended weapon, Vacation Notice, and Priarm Vacation Notice Emergency Overtime will be added.
When equipped with the recommended weapons, Shixel's Imperative's QTE and Work Done in Dreams build up bonus stress on hit.
At the same time, her teammates will be able to negate Quantum-type attacks. Negating or ultimate evading a Quantum-type attack will inflict Collapse once.
Make sure you get Teresa's handy weapon for work. Next up, let's check out the new Stigmata.
Teresa's recommended stigmata are, as you've guessed, related to work. Stigma set day after day reflects a day in her busy life. And the first stigma, Teresa is sleepily washing up to prep for the day. Just thinking about hopping out of bed in the morning and heading into work is too much to handle.
In the second stigma, she's tackling tricky problems while sipping on some bitter melon juice for life support. In the third one, Teresa can finally hit the hay at night. Unfortunately, work plagues her even in her dreams.
Work may be rough, but that's not the worst of it. No, the worst part is it's just a Sisyphean nightmare of the same tasks day in and day out with no real end in sight. But that's the responsibility of the Shixel Overseer. Teresa might complain all the time, but she's never really entertained the thought of throwing in the towel. After all, she believes she's just as fit for the role as her predecessor.
I'm tearing up just hearing that. I'm excited to see how Teresa's story unfolds. Since we're on the topic of stories, it's time to talk about the main story.
Before we do that, let's check out the messages from the voice artists for Dreamseeker and Serapeum. Make sure you don't miss the redemption code either.
結局、私がこういった世界の夢を見てるのかな。それとも、この世界が現実で、私の今までの経験こそが夢だったの？皆さんこんにちは。夢追い人役の中島いきです。崩壊サード第2部がスタートしてから、夢追い人もですね、皆さんと長い旅を共にしてきました。頭脳派の彼女はですね、戦闘力が高いわけではないんですが、いつも冷静に状況を分析して、戦場で活躍する仲間たちをサポートしています。ですが、そんな彼女にも、冷静さを失ってでも何かを探したい時があります。老朽での物語は一段落したように見えるんですが、夢追い人にとっては終わりではありません。かつての仲間たちとはずっと一緒にいられないかもしれませんが、火星の謎を解き明かすために、新たなメンバーも仲間に加わってくれます。未来で彼女と共に行動する人物の正体、そして火星と夢追い人にはどんなつながりがあるのかは、これからの崩壊サードにご期待ください。
本を読むことは、今いる人たちや今はいない人たちと会話してるみたい。文字からその人たちの本当の考えが理解できるの。そんな感覚は面白くて安心できる。皆さんこんにちは。セラペウム役の大野優子です。セラペウムさんはですね、とても心優しい女の子で、霊能力がありそうなオーラがあります。一見するとか弱いような存在ですが、彼女の力に引き寄せられた人々と共に同じ信念を持って組織を立ち上げたりしています。でもそれを除くと、彼女は図書館で眠ってしまうようなただの読書好きの一面もあったり、すごく可愛らしい女の子です。そんな彼女を前にすると、七術の皆さんも優しい一面を見せてくれます。わがままなドニグルさんでさえ彼女に撫でられてお腹を見せるくらいですからね。はい。そして最新のストーリーに出てくる桜花は、私たちの知ってる桜花とは少し様子が違うようですが、老朽にも何か変化があるんですかね。セラペウムさんも まだ皆さんの知ってるセラペウムさんのままなんですかね。もしかしてより可愛くなっちゃったりしちゃったりするんでしょうか。はい、ということで詳しくは崩壊サードの最新ストーリーをチェックしてくださいね。
Dreamseeker seems like such a calm and rational person. But everything that's happened in version 7.6's main story is enough to drive anyone crazy. Now we know the Mars that Dreamseeker is on is in fact a system.
Yeah, it took them a lot of effort to return to reality, only to discover they were actually on the moon. But things don't look so good. Kiana has fallen into a deep sleep, and Sina has gone missing. It's mysteries all around.
You're right. Dreamseeker will need to enter the system again to uncover the truth. And this time, she'll bring a new companion.
A new companion? Is it Vita? But she clearly has her own agenda. I just know she's up to something. Won't the always dependable Schicksal Overseer Teresa lend a hand? I mean, especially since this involves Kiana.
In Part 2's Chapter 4, Ashore Under Watch, Vita and Teresa will enter the system to help Dreamseeker. How will they help her? For starters, Vita has created a new account for Teresa.
Created a new account? It sounds like Vita is up to no good. Look at how smug Vita is in the cutscene, while Teresa is fuming.
That's because Vita made Teresa...
Hey, why was it muted?
We have to keep up the suspense, just like we always do. But here's something I can tell you. In the main story, we're gonna get to see a different side to the Seven Shoes. For example, we might see someone doing a bit of street performance.
The story is getting even more confusing. I have a feeling that Dreamseeker's journey will be rough.
It won't be easy, since there will be plenty of boss battles in the main story this time.
That's right. After Dreamseeker returns to explore Langtio with her new companions, they will encounter a new boss, Heat Dive Automaton, that looks like a robot fish.
Right? It can fire streams of bullets at us from the two cannons underneath it, and summon schools of fish to form a floating shield for itself.
The schools of fish can shield it and transform into wings for the robot fish to dash forward.
It looks like a robot, but it can move just as quickly as a real fish in water. Heat Dive Automaton can also burrow into the ground. Its fins will protrude from the ground before it rushes out to ambush. Then, the schools of fish will gather and charge like a wave. As the battle goes on, the schools of fish will form a laser formation to attack.
A laser formation? This is getting ridiculous. What are you supposed to do against something like that?
If it were me, I'd just give up and lie down. But I heard there's a trick to this.
Seems like there are plenty of secrets to this boss fight. We hope you all look forward to taking it on in-game.
Playing the main story will also get you plenty of rewards. That includes crystals, source prisms, and Dreamseeker chips to upgrade Dreamseeker.
In addition to the main story, Investigation Teresa's Great Adventure will also be released. As the title suggests, Vita has pushed her investigation duties onto Teresa, forcing her into a great adventure. It really seems like Vita enjoys driving Teresa crazy.
No kidding. I'm starting to worry about Teresa.
Teresa is a true professional with tons of experience. She's firm on the outside, but flexible on the inside. She won't let something like this get under her skin. Besides, captains are there to help her.
You're right. And it's her exterior resolve that allows Teresa to transform into a cube and wander Cubrisa in big mazes. Captains will need to control the Teresa cube to solve puzzles and reach the destination.
Firm on the outside and flexible on the inside, huh? And will we just be wandering around Dreamland as Cubrisa this time?
Nope. The gameplay has a lot more to offer. Our hard-working Overseer will have to fight too. For example, in Bounce Overseer Jumps High, captains need to have Teresa jump and collect energy orbs to boost the power of her landings.
And Vita will also be helping Teresa in battle. In Partners Easy Fights with V, Vita's Wish Feathers will deal massive full-screen damage as she assists Teresa in battle. That's impressive damage. Vita sure is a loyal friend.
Vita brings more than damage to the battlefield. She also has rewards to hand out. Play the main story to obtain crystals, source prisms, ancient willpower, and more. In addition to already existing rewards, completing event missions in version 7.7 also unlocks more limited time rewards. Make sure you don't miss out.
As we've seen, Vita will play a large part in the main story gameplay. I believe everyone is excited to meet Vita, so we've got some news about her too.
After the version 7.7 update, the event Born from a Dream will be released. In this event, Vita will appear as a mysterious figure. At the same time, reality will begin to collapse.
I remember Vita appearing as a mysterious figure during the Interstellar Duels too. She tricked me out of a lot of tickets. And this time, she's a mysterious figure, and not just a name only. Look at the title.
Hold on. We can't talk about that now. Let's move on to the event gameplay.
If you say so. This event requires us to fight against nightmares, safeguarding our spirits and minds. Of course, our beloved Vita will be there to help you battle these nightmares. Along the way, as a certain someone, you'll gradually learn the secrets of this world.
You'll have to strategize and have Vita build defensive towers and camps in different locations. Then, you'll need to assemble guards to protect your base. You can even have Vita block and attack nightmares.
In addition, you can unlock Vita's different forms. She can use a greatsword, a lance, or even a bow, but you won't have to worry about selecting the right one. The stages will automatically choose the most suitable form for battle. Meanwhile, selecting the right talents will make Vita stronger.
Wait a minute. Who is this certain someone you mentioned earlier?
That's a good question. Is it going to be one of Vita's close friends?
Does she even have close friends? I guess anything is possible in a dream. If you want to find out more, you'll just have to play.
And we promise tons of rewards too. Be sure to play the version events to obtain crystals, source prisms, Honkai shards, emblems, and more. Chrono Navi's new outfit, Guiding Star, will also be available.
And everyone should recognize Ai's outfit. She wore it while chatting with Vita in Part 2's Chapter 1. More importantly, her hair buns are back.
This outfit resembles a formal gown with a flowing cape and skirt that draws inspiration from the night sky. Her elegant black dress is accented by her iconic green coloring. Unlike her usual AI style, this outfit makes her look more mature and dignified.
I'm sure everyone can't wait to see this dress. And I can't wait to get started on version 7.7 too.
Well, hold on just a moment, and we'll take a quick look at the top-up bonuses first. In version 7.7, collect top-ups to claim Weapon Direct level-up coupons, rank-up stamps, source prisms, supply cards, and more fabulous bonuses. You can use a Weapon Direct level-up coupon to upgrade one rare weapon directly to level 50 without any additional material cost.
Make sure to claim the version bonuses too. Participate in version 7.7's login events to obtain crystals, Teresa's recommended stigma option, and more. The battlesuit supply for Teresa's new battlesuit will also offer a 50% discount for the first 10 drops.
After the version 7.7 update, Teresa's recommended stigma set can also be crafted. Captains are now able to freely craft their desired stigmata.
Along with these bonuses, we also want captains to have an enjoyable gaming experience. The popular Schicksal's Vacation event will continue in version 7.7. Similar to the event's first run, captains can obtain vacation tickets by playing the main story and featured events. Vacation tickets can be used to sweep daily events.
If you have leftover vacation tickets from the last run of Schicksal's Vacation, you can use them in version 7.7's Schicksal's Vacation.
That's all for version 7.7. As for Teresa's event in version 7.6, I'm sure our hard-working captains recognized a few things. Let's talk about some of the stories from the development team while they were designing for Teresa.
It's incredible just how much art the creative concept and writing team made for this event.
The original art was buried away because the artist felt it was too painful to look at. But now, it's finally time to let that art see the light of day.
Let's compare them with the final versions. The expressions of Grisio and Vita are way too lifelike. It looks just like the final cutscene. Grisio's face tells me she doesn't have any patience for employees trying to outdo her.
The writers and artists must have some kind of inexplicable bond. They can understand each other with just a few simple sketches.
These drawings were sent to the artists by the writers for reference. But to everyone's surprise, the artists uploaded them to a public folder. Honestly, such fascinating content has to be shared with everyone.
Seems like the artist wanted everyone else to have to put up with looking at these original designs too. But art of Grisio and Teresa weren't the only files in the folder.
Susanna looks like she's serving a certain someone, and that certain someone doesn't seem to be doing too hot. Let's compare those with the final cutscene. I can tell that the artists really managed to capture Teresa's soul.
Is that how everyone ends up after working for too long? By the way, I've been meaning to point this out. Why does an automatic respirator have to be activated manually?
After the event went online, an oxygen cylinder was seen at the designer's desk. This event has impacted the team significantly.
There are all sorts of stories from the development process, like that one about cold water instant noodles. When the sound technician was creating the sound effects for instant noodles, he tried cooking the noodles with cold water.
Huh? I wonder how it was.
He said it tasted horrible.
At any rate, when the team looked back on the event dialogue, they realized it reflected their mental state while working on the event.
That's right. During this process, the team also came up with some pretty interesting gameplay, like helping coworkers relax by shooting at them and divvying up workload fairly. The idea of auto racing with a wheelchair also popped into their minds.
That makes me think about Kiana's Cook With Me. When I first heard that, you could tell the writers were playing a bit of inside baseball. Sounds like the writing team wanted to let us know their thoughts on the job.
Just like how it is for everyone at Shixel, work isn't always fun in games. Even so, the team worked plenty of overtime to make this event happen. I'm sure they did their best, knowing the final product would bring so much joy to captains.
It can be hard to stay sane when there's never-ending work to do, but we'll all be able to persevere, thinking about how much fun everyone will have. And it's our belief that we'll bring even more fun events and iconic scenes to everyone in the future.
Yeah, and Teresa's been hard at work too, hasn't she? But maybe it's about time to clock out for the day.
But we haven't said goodbye to everyone yet. We hope that you've all enjoyed the behind-the-scenes content this time. See you next time, Captains!
We'll be clocking off now, Captains. Bye-bye.
私たちが一緒に経験したことは夢なんかじゃない。私まで彼女を忘れてしまったら、セナリオという存在は本当にこの世界から消えちゃうの。
システム正常、データ記録成功。出発しましょう。
Hello, Captains.
Hello, and welcome to the Hyperion Lounge for version 7.7.
After watching that trailer, it looks like this version's gonna have everything that Honkai Impact 3rd is all about. That was quite an emotional watch. The flashback with Dreamseeker and Cena was tugging at my heartstrings.
But Cinna's flashback isn't the only thing. I also noticed Teresa looks different. You don't think it's because...
Well, hold on now. Just like every update from the Hyperion Lounge, we'll get to those questions during the main story segment.
Oh, all right. I can't wait to learn more about Teresa's new battlesuit. I bet everyone's equally excited. So let's check it out.
Shixel's Imperative is a quantum-type battlesuit. She wields chained blades in battle to deal lightning damage. As the Shixel Overseer, Teresa takes her work very seriously. She fights hard with her puppets, off-work Homu and on vacay Homu, to get through her work at top speed.
But what's a day on the job without a bit of slagging off? Teresa throws on her eye mask and catches some Z's, while unfinished tasks are left to the dream puppets to deal with.
Why can't these puppets be mass-produced? I know plenty of people that could use one.
For sure. I could be catching up on some shut-eye right now. Ahem. Anyway, how do these more than capable puppets help Teresa in battle?
Teresa will manipulate these two puppets to attack enemies. Combat is work to her, so her stress increases in battle. When Teresa's stress maxes out, she enters the Let Me Leave Work enhanced state. In this state, her attacks will inflict enemies with paralyzed trauma.
If her stress hits the threshold, she'll need to relax. A professional like her de-stresses by keeping work out of sight. She's also got an alarm set to let her enemies know that when it's time to clock out, the fighting stops. This move will inflict significant paralyzed trauma on enemies too.
As far as Teresa's concerned, enemies that have been beat down won't have an easy time getting work done.
Only an expert at dealing with employee one-upmanship like her would think of something so brilliant. I bet her ultimate is out of this world too.
You're right. Let's take another look at those dream puppets we mentioned earlier. When Teresa casts her ultimate, she takes a break while the puppets grow in size and take the field. They deal lightning damage to enemies, and you'll still be able to switch into other characters.
Teresa's a great leader, so she'll still be offering her support. After taking a short break, she will return to the battlefield. This will trigger work done in dreams and inflicts collapse on enemies.
Just because someone likes taking it easy doesn't mean they can't help where needed. When Teresa activates Astral Ring Specialization World Star as the team leader in a resonance team, her two puppets will appear on the field during Stellar Outburst as resonance marks to trigger resonance attacks.
The puppets can also devour her teammates' resonance marks and be triggered automatically. So that means the puppets can trigger more resonance attacks. In a Shadow Star team, Teresa can become a phantom to cast Shadow Star attacks.
With dream puppets battling on her behalf, she gets to kick back and clock out early.
How do we get such an awesome weapon?
After the version 7.7 update, Shixel's Imperative's recommended weapon, Vacation Notice, and Priarm Vacation Notice Emergency Overtime will be added.
When equipped with the recommended weapons, Shixel's Imperative's QTE and Work Done in Dreams build up bonus stress on hit.
At the same time, her teammates will be able to negate quantum-type attacks. Negating or ultimate evading a quantum-type attack will inflict collapse once.
Make sure you get Teresa's handy weapon for work. Next up, let's check out the new Stigmata.
Teresa's recommended stigmata are, as you've guessed, related to work. Stigma set day after day reflects a day in her busy life. In the first stigma, Teresa is sleepily washing up to prep for the day. Just thinking about hopping out of bed in the morning and heading into work is too much to handle.
In the second stigma, she's tackling tricky problems while sipping on some bitter melon juice for life support. In the third one, Teresa can finally hit the hay at night. Unfortunately, work plagues her even in her dreams.
Work may be rough, but that's not the worst of it. No, the worst part is it's just a Sisyphean nightmare of the same tasks day in and day out with no real end in sight. But that's the responsibility of the Schicksal Overseer. Teresa might complain all the time, but she's never really entertained the thought of throwing in the towel. After all, she believes she's just as fit for the role as her predecessor.
I'm tearing up just hearing that. I'm excited to see how Teresa's story unfolds. Since we're on the topic of stories, it's time to talk about the main story.
Before we do that, let's check out the messages from the voice artists for Dreamseeker and Serapeum. Make sure you don't miss the redemption code either.
結局、私がこういった世界の夢を見てるのかな。それとも、この世界が現実で、私の今までの経験こそが夢だったの？皆さんこんにちは。夢追い人役の中島由紀です。崩壊サード第2部がスタートしてから、夢追い人もですね、皆さんと長い旅を共にしてきました。頭脳派の彼女はですね、戦闘力が高いわけではないんですが、いつも冷静に状況を分析して戦場で活躍する仲間たちをサポートしています。ですが、そんな彼女にも冷静さを失ってでも何かを探したい時があります。老朽での物語は一段落したように見えるんですが、夢追い人にとっては終わりではありません。かつての仲間たちとはずっと一緒にいられないかもしれませんが、火星の謎を解き明かすために新たなメンバーも仲間に加わってくれます。未来で彼女と共に行動する人物の正体、そして火星と夢追い人にはどんなつながりがあるのかは、これからの崩壊サードにご期待ください。
本を読むことは、今いる人たちや今はいない人たちと会話してるみたい。文字からその人たちの本当の考えが理解できるの。そんな感覚は面白くて安心できる。皆さんこんにちは。セラペウム役の大野優子です。セラペウムさんはですね、とても心優しい女の子で、霊能力がありそうなオーラがあります。